We are so excited about today. Everyone here is making history. This, believe it or not, is the very first Boca Intercol in the world.
Tray. So I made a tiny aquarium with that fish in mind. We then cover the fish so it's mostly wet. We don't want them to dry out.
Just out of water.
Yeah, out of water, except for the spot that we're going to do surgery. So that animal that we did surgery on, we covered the whole fish in wet towels, and that the water going in her mouth helps keep them wet. And we made one dry spot right up here on her eye, and that was it. And so we put her under with some anesthesia in the water. So it's direct injection. So it'd be for you like breathing is, but I don't give her another option. So I put it in that water and then put that water in her mouth. And so then she goes to sleep. Sleep is relative. She becomes inactive. We assume that she feels less pain at that point, and we were able to, the veterinarian was very gently able to get the skin around her eye and then grab the nerves, the nerve bundle and the blood supply of the back of the eyeball. She tied that all off and then cut it. And so then your eye just heals naturally at that point. I mean, there will never not be a need now for people raising and keeping corals. That is a forever job now.
We're officially on day 2 of our Gravity Racing Association STEM experience in South Florida. Our team just had a fantastic experience at Gumbo Limbo Environmental Complex in Boca Raton, Florida. It was fantastic. Mr. Keith Herman, the head aquarist here, was able to share with the boys his experience getting into the tanks, cleaning the tanks, showing them different type of marine life, how he cares for the marine life, and the roles they can play perhaps in the future, depending on the career that they choose, to be able to do the same thing in the Caribbean.
Yeah, more than just the fish, we also draw reference to the engineering behind the building, construction, and maintenance of these tanks. Sometimes you have to manage anywhere between 30,000 gallons to even bigger tanks in the millions of gallons of water to manage. And that means containment, filtration, and keeping it at a high quality to ensure that everybody, fish and non-fish, enjoy the experience.
At Gumbo Limbo, I find the seahorse, like how the males give birth. I find that was interesting. The female got pregnant and transferred. I just didn't know that part. I just overall like the place because I like animals and I just love animals. It was informative and exciting.
I really like Gumbo Limbo. I like the head aquarist, Keith Herman. I like that he was knowledgeable about what he was showing. And I like the different array of animals there. I liked how he was able to speak about each one. Even the turtles, which wasn't his forte, he was able to give us information about and speak to us about and help us understand stuff about that. So that I liked seeing different things. I liked going on the trail, seeing the small beach they had. It was good. It was a good. That was my favorite part of the day, being honest.
Gumbo Limbo, passion. The way Mr. Keith Herman talked about his animals and his aquariums and his turtles and his snakes, you could tell that he really enjoyed what he did, and he'd been doing it for so long that he really knew what he was talking about. And even when he didn't know what the answers to our questions, he was still willing to tell us that and be able to explain what he did know and what he didn't, and be able to pass on what he didn't know to the people that may have. What I learned from Gumbo Limbo is that male seahorses don't have the babies, but they carry them. So yeah.
So what stood out to me a lot was the hot chicks and cool dudes that we saw, learned about the genders of the turtles, was that in the nests, if it's warm, it's more like to be more girls, whereas if it's cooler, it's more likely male or boys.
So seeing something like what we saw today in Gumbo Limbo made me believe that we can have this exact same thing, if not the same replica, something just like it in Trinidad and Tobago. Because we do have, in terms of the animals that's there, you see water and everything. And in terms of resources, I'm not sure exactly what will be needed, but we can have that, right? And the students, they were the most engaged I've seen them for the trip so far. And that's because they were so interested in the different species and learning about the facts. And so that was very interesting and honestly very rewarding to see, you know, that they were enjoying themselves. I know that some of them was, what species is this, what, you know, so it was really interesting to see that they were so engaged and really enjoying themselves. Something that I did not know before was that the amount of females, the ratio for female and male in terms of the turtles that what would it be the word, hatched, right, that are hatched are so outnumbered, where the females are 98% for, I think, is the leatherback, right? That was very interesting to learn, and knowing that some years that only females can hatch. So once it's hotter, females are produced, and cooler ones, basically the ones at the outside perimeters, are males. I know, so that was very interesting to learn about, seeing that we have some of them right in Trinidad and Tobago. I do believe that they are definitely excited. So yes, because it's so packed filled with activities, they will get tired here and there. However, they are definitely learning, they are definitely interested, and I'm seeing that even sometimes when they are home, they are discussing very simply what they appreciated about the day. So that is something that I really enjoy, seeing their interactions with one another, just learning, talking about what they have learned in a very informal setting. But yes, they are definitely enjoying what they are seeing.